Jones, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Black People Kind of News. Let's get into it, man. We got a full action-packed show for you today. Full broadcast video show. All right, so we got a lot to show today, man. A lot to show today. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Make sure you guys are tapping the stream. Make sure you guys are share the stream. Share the stream on every social media page that you have, because we're going to get into it, man. This comes from the Black Wall Street Times. Our first story of the evening, or the afternoon, I should say. This woman here was falsely arrested, falsely accused by Detroit police officers. And now the Detroit PD is going to set new policies after wrongfully charging pregnant black woman. A technology which was used on images taken from gas station video produced leads in the case, but was followed by very poor police work, Chief James White said. So basically, this involves AI too. AI imaging, and also using those images to go after black people unjustly. The Detroit police chief said he's setting new policies on the use of facial recognition technology after a woman who was 8 months pregnant said she was wrongfully charged with robbery and carjacking in a case that was ultimately dismissed by prosecutors. The technology, which was used on images taken from gas station video, produced leads in the case, but was followed by very poor police work, Chief James White said. So basically, you have this AI program, this facial recognition program that falsely arrested and charged this sister, had this sister charged for nothing. She did nothing wrong. She's 8 months pregnant, being charged with robbery and all kinds of other stuff based on AI that was created and produced in part by law enforcement. And that's the whole claim here. Hey, this wasn't racism. It was just our computer systems. It's our AI. Well, who trained the AI to target black people like this? Who trained the AI to go and do this? Who? That's my question. We want to ensure that nothing like this happens again, White said Wednesday. His comments came 2 days after the American Civil Liberties Union of Michigan urged Detroit police to stop using the technology. The city was sued last week by Portia Woodruff, a 32-year-old black woman who was arrested in February while trying to get children ready for school. There have been 2 similar lawsuits against Detroit. Woodruff was identified as a suspect in a January robbery and carjacking through facial recognition technology. She denied any role. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office said charges later were dropped because the victim did not appear in court. White said that his officers will not be allowed to use facial recognition derived images in a photogenic lineup, period. ABC News reports that he said 2 captives must review arrest warrants when facial recognition technology is used in a case, among other changes. The new policies will be presented to the Detroit Police Board of Commissioners. White said there must be other evidence outside the technology for police to believe a suspect had the means, ability, and opportunity to commit the crime. She spent hours in jail following her arrest. Hours in jail when she's been falsely charged with a crime that she never committed, man. This poor woman. Pregnant while black. That's her crime. This is why this woman was falsely arrested. She was pregnant while black. That was her only crime. Wow. Serve and protect, huh? Serve and protect, huh? Wow. Just wow. Now, this story is like so many others. You know, a lot of AI programs are being used. A lot of facial recognition programs are being used. And for some reason, when the mistakes are being made, it's almost always black people that are being targeted. Let me just take a pause from the program here. I wanted to show you that real quick. Black people, false arrest, artificial intelligence. I'm going to show you. This is from Business Insider, right? So from Business Insider. In every reported case where police mistakenly arrested someone using facial recognition, that person has been black. In every case, without exception. In every case, right? A All 6 known reports of false arrests due to facial recognition technology were made by black people. As activists have warned for several years, facial recognition technology and AI can exacerbate racial inequality in policing. Several police departments across the country use that technology, with Baltimore police running over 800 searches last year, one expert said. Right? So every single false arrest that has been made because of AI or facial recognition has been done to a black person. Not a single white person, no Hispanic people, no Native American people. So I don't want to hear any other group claim, well, it's happening to us too. No, the hell it isn't. Shut up. It's happening to us. Us. See, every time that we bring up something that happens to black people, well, what about us? Shut the hell up. That whataboutism nonsense, that's why we in the black community can never solve problems, because everybody wants to be a minority until it's time to be white. It's not happening to you. It's happening to us. Every single false arrest that has been made by facial recognition has been of a black person. Facts. Not your feelings, not your privilege, not your self-centered white rage. Facts. See, and when we go back over to this story, that kind of shows you that targeting this sister was not an accident. Do you really think that machines are that racist? Or do you think the people who train the AI programs change the facial recognition actual programs because one of my side hustles, I sell AI art. So I understand this to a certain extent. I understand you can train an AI program to not be racist, but based on what you train it on to look for, it can be racist. Yeah. Yeah, the program itself is not racist. The software itself is not racist. The AI model programs, the facial recognition programs themselves are not racist. The people who make them are. Because otherwise, if that's not the case, tell me why Business Insider is also reporting that in every case where police mistakenly arrest someone using facial recognition, that person has been black. In every single case, without exception. So anybody coming here saying, well, it happens to us too, shut up. You don't get a voice here. The bias is built in the system, just like Forbin Media said. The bias is built into the system. Exactly. You don't have to be racist if you make things to be racist. The system of white supremacy does not require directness. It just requires cooperation among those who benefit and willing collaborators. That's it. You need nothing more. You need nothing more. So I want to move on to another case here, because it's another case involving the police. And another black person. Michigan police prompt outrage after detaining a black child taking out trash. The Lansing Police Department called the situation an unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time. 12-year-old black boy taking out trash. Taking out trash, doing nothing wrong, but merely doing chores as a black child. Doing nothing wrong other than that. A video of a white officer detaining a 12-year-old black child outside of his home this week prompted outrage on social media. In the video, the officer is seen leading the boy, whose hands are cuffed behind his back, through the parking lot of a Lansing, Michigan apartment complex on Thursday, August the 10th. Look at that. And the boy did nothing wrong. Tashawn Bernard was taking out trash to a dumpster when he was approached by a police officer, according to the Associated Press. According to a lawyer representing the family, the officer had his gun unholstered and was holding it in front of him. Wow. Wow. Lansing police said that the officer was searching the apartment complex for a suspect in a string of car thefts when he came upon the boy. They claimed that a witness described clothes that the suspect was wearing after eluding another officer in a different apartment complex. They alleged that Bernard was wearing a very similar outfit, stopped him, and released him when the officer realized he was not the suspect. You know, basically, you match this, you fit the description. So what was the description? They never tell you that. They never tell. Notice how when you're stopped by the police and they say, hey, you fit the description, and you ask for the actual description, right? And they say, well, we can't tell you. Well, that lets me know that you're racist. You want to know how I know? You're either racist or you don't care about my safety. Because if you cared about my safety, you would tell me exactly who this dangerous criminal you're looking for looks like. That way, if I see him, I can call you, because most crimes are actually solved not so much because of what law enforcement finds, but from people, witnesses giving them tips. So why would you not give me the opportunity to help you? Because you're racist and you're looking for a freaking excuse to stop any black child you see. See, that's how that works. So when you are scumbags and you don't actually be forthcoming about who you're looking for because you want to be undercover racist with badges, well then that makes you look suspicious. So it's gonna be one or the other. Either you're gonna admit that whenever you say you fit the description, you're being a racist, or you're gonna actually start giving us the description of who you're looking for and be honest when you do. Pick one. Police officers, pick one. Because either in one case you're racist, or in the other case you don't care about my damn safety. Pick one. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. I'll say it a third time. It's one or the other. Lawyers for the family said the incident traumatized the boy so much that he is no longer able to go outside, and he doesn't even want to go outside. I don't blame him. The family is exploring all legal options, including the possibility of filing a lawsuit, lawyers said. Community relations is a top priority for us as a department from top down, the police department wrote in a statement reprinted by the Lansing State Journal. Our hope is that we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve. Wrong place, wrong time. So anytime a black child is outside, they gotta fear the pigs in Lansing, Michigan. Anytime a black child is outside, they gotta fear the police in Lansing, Michigan. Joe Biden just gave all that money to that European conflict, more money than what was allotted to solve all the natural disasters, all the wildfires, right? All the wildfires, all the burnings, all the what's happening in Maui. He allotted more money to that European conflict versus that, or even solving the police problem that we have here. No. His solution to the police is to give them more money so that they can continuously abuse black people. That's his solution. Give the pigs more money so that they can continuously abuse black people. You can't even be a child taking out trash. If the average parent, if your son is taking out trash, that's a good thing. That's great. The kid's doing chores. He's not hurting nobody. He's not gangbanging. He's just taking out trash. My God. You can't even do that. You can't even do that, huh? But people love to pretend like you got some kind of equal struggle to us. I'm done hearing those arguments. You don't have an equivalent to this. No, you do not. Not in terms of frequency. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like I said, everybody wants to be a minority until it's time to be white. Black folks, we don't have the option of simply running away. We don't have the option of simply identifying as somebody else because we are light enough. We don't have the option of just, putting on a dress and then just changing everything about us. We don't have that option. We always got to be black. This, as you can see, is our reality. I want to show you these pictures, right? Back to back for a reason. I showed you one story where a pregnant black woman, 8 months pregnant, was falsely arrested because of facial recognition. And then right afterwards, I showed you a recent news story from Business Insider about how every single arrest using AI and facial recognition has been done of a black person. Every single false arrest. And now this, you have a black child who can't even take out trash without being arrested and detained, harassed by race soldiers. But you got folks out there where as soon as we mention reparations, as soon as we mention benefits, tangible benefits for black people, what about us? Bruh, it's always been what about us when it comes to black. Every time we mention something, every time we want something for ourselves, every time we want to fight for ourselves, every time we ask for something to be done with these race soldiers, do you know what we are told every time? Well, you're only 13% of the population. We can't do anything. But then the Asian community, you are 6 or 7% of the population, and yet you got anti-Asian hate crime bills. Signed, sealed, delivered. LGBT community, even a smaller population of the black community, and certainly as compared to the black community, they get all kinds of bills though. The moment you mention anything about black people getting anything, I want you to notice what people immediately do. Well, what about black and brown? Black and this? No! This is not happening to Hispanic children every single day on the regular. This is not happening to Asian children on the regular. This ain't happening to LGBT children on the regular. This is happening to black children, the #1 target of hate crimes in the U.S. for more than 20 years. Excuse me, don't believe me? Here, let me go just look that up for you. #1 target of hate crimes are black people. I want you to see this, right? This is from Yahoo News, March 14th, 2023. Control F. Black people targeted most, but experienced lowest spike from 2020 to 2021. That's how you gotta try to downgrade our suffering. Well, but it lowered a little bit, but we're still the majority of hate crime victims and have been for the longest. Do you see how headlines have to be written just to give us, just to make it so that we don't have an actual point? That's 2023. I want you to see something real quick. Black people, #1 target of hate crimes, 2022. Right? Hate crimes in U.S. surged 11.6% in 2021, fueled by racial ethnic bias, right? So I want you to see something real quick, right? I want you to see something real quick. Hate crimes in the U.S. surged 11.6% in 2021, with the largest number motivated by bias against black people. Black people. Black people. Not Hispanic, not Asian, not LGBT, not Jew. No, black people. So the general public is being racist towards us, and then you get the police who's targeting 8-month pregnant black women. You get the police targeting 12-year-old black boys taking out trash. Every single false arrest by facial recognition or freaking AI is of a freaking black person. The #1 exonerated demographic. Hold on, let me show you something. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. #1 exonerated are black men. Innocence Project. So the Innocence Project exonerates people, helps people get exonerated out of prison. I want you to see what the Innocence Project is saying about race, right? When it comes to this, race and wrongful conviction. This is the actual Innocence Project website. Race and wrongful conviction, right? Nearly 60% of the people that the Innocence Project has helped to free or exonerate since 1992 are black. This demographic rate is consistent with research by the National Registry of Exonerations, showing that more than half of the 3,300 people who were exonerated between 1989 and 2022 are black, despite the fact that black people account for just 13.6% of the U.S. population. Indeed, a 2022 report from the registry found that innocent black people were 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of unaliving someone than innocent white people. The racial disproportionality in wrongful conviction cases reflects persistent biases in the criminal justice system. Right? Police investigatory practices such as deceptions in interrogations, threats to witnesses and the accused, and tainted witness identification are drivers of racial disparities in wrongful convictions. The cases of black people exonerated from unaliving convictions are 50% more likely to involve police misconduct than those of white people exonerated for those same convictions, right? So basically, not only are we exonerated more than white people when we haven't even committed a crime, but in a significant amount of those cases, right, there's police misconduct. And even in cases where black men are accused of being predators, a lot of times those are lies, because whenever a white woman claims a black man did something to her, it's very easy for a white woman to get people to believe her. Don't believe that? Go look at some of the black men who have been exonerated. There's five in particular that you should go look into. See, the idea of a woman being unable to lie, that is also linked to white supremacy. And do you want to know why? Because that was the same idea that was given to white women. See, when a white woman would accuse a white man or something, then that's where you can then that's when you can question her. But this idea of you can never question a woman, well, who is falsely accused of these types of crimes the most often? Us. So it's very, very convenient to have that rule where you got to believe all women, where you know who the primary accused are, even though we're not guilty of it even half of the time. In fact, do you want to understand how bad it is? Let me show you something real quick. I want to show you something real quick. This is from the... No. I want to see the actual... Let's look at the actual fact. I want to see... the racial demographic of these guys. I want you to see this real quick. I want you to see this because, again, people don't believe me when I say this. When I say this, people don't believe it. Right? The majority of those convicted of receipt or possession of CP are white, 86%. There are very few black, 4%, Hispanic, 10%, or Native American, they are under 1%. Individuals charged with this crime. The demography of individuals convicted of these abuse crimes, these horrible crimes, are more mixed. 42% are white, 18% are black, 10% are Hispanic, 31% are Native American. But the thing is, though, in every one of these categories, right, we receive longer sentences, we are exonerated more, and there are more white people guilty of it. So why do we have the perception that we're all like R. Kelly or anybody else? I have to ask that question. When the majority of the offenders are undoubtedly white. Undoubtedly. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Right? It's not even a question. This is from Rain. I wonder if Rain has numbers about this. Yeah, there we go. Here's a nice little graph for you about the perpetrators, right? The perpetrators. 57% are white. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. But you want to mention about hip hop culture and how supposedly degenerate we are. Wow. The profile. So who's are the majority of these types of people? Well, according to the FBI, a 4-year FBI investigation shows that the vast majority of online CP arrests involve people in high places that are usually young, white, and wealthy. As it turns out, a corner office at a high-profile, high-tech company isn't such an unlikely place to find a predator. Not according to records being yielded from a 3-year-old FBI crackdown on internet CP. Of the 413 people arrested as part of the agency's innocent images investigation since 1995, only a handful have not been upper middle class educated white men, said Special Agent Pete Gulata, who serves as the investigation's chief spokesman. They're almost all white males between the ages of 25 and 45. This was put out in 1999. This is written by Maria Semi-Nerio, contributor on September 19th, 1999. Yeah. They want to tell us about how we are supposedly degenerate, how hip-hop culture is bad, how, excuse me, the FBI already said it ain't us that we should have to, that you should watch around children. So, you can mention all the bad things about black culture. I'll take that over what y'all got going on here. How about them? How about them apples, huh? I'll take all the bad things you can mention about black culture, all the lies, the deceptions and misdirection. I'll take all that if we ain't guilty of this crap. How about them apples? See, this is why white supremacists don't want to go at me. Because, as you can see, we're the number one target of hate crimes, right? Right? We are the highest amount of people who are exonerated for almost any crime category, for the vast majority of them. And we ain't the ones you gotta watch around children. So, I don't think white people or anybody who is an anti-black racist wants to go there. Because I could do this with any freaking demographic. Try me. Try me. Try me. See what happens. See, now you also understand why undercover police officers and agents, certain folks, on Twitter, or what they call X now, talking smack about me, constantly giving me lectures. You understand the reason why they don't like me now, right? You get it now, right? Who else can do this? How many times do you see stuff like this on social media? See? That's why they don't like me. That's why. Let's get into this story here from BET though. White mother sues Southwest Airlines, which she says accused her of trafficking her black daughter. Mary McCarthy is seeking damages for mental anguish, emotional distress, suffering, and inconvenience. They accuse this mother of trafficking her own daughter, even though it's because she's white and her daughter is mixed race. Her daughter's black. Little black girl. Could you imagine the terror? A white mother has filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against Southwest Airlines after she was accused of human trafficking when she was discovered with her 10-year-old black daughter, CNN reports. The incident took place in October 2021 when Mary McCarthy was traveling from California to Denver with her daughter to attend her brother's funeral. Unbeknownst to Miss McCarthy, while they were in the air, a Southwest employee called the Denver Police Department to report Miss McCarthy for suspected trafficking for no reason other than she was a different color than her daughter's skin. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, Southwest, you're gonna lose that lawsuit. Listen, as soon as a judge sees this, they're gonna crucify Southwest Airlines. Listen, if that were my daughter, I would own Southwest Airlines when I'm through with them. I don't care what color you are. This is absurd. Okay, Southwest, you have earned yourself a big fat L in court, okay? After significant questioning, during which Miss McCarthy's daughter began to break down in tears, Miss McCarthy was eventually allowed to leave by the officers, but not before this display of blatant racism by Southwest Airlines caused Miss McCarthy and her daughter extreme emotional distress. The lawsuit continues. Wow. This woman was already grieving what happened to her brother. She was going through something hard, man. And the one thing about us in the black community is that we understand when people are grieving, man. When people are grieving, no, bro. No, that's when somebody loses a sibling, that's a hard thing to go through, man. She did not need this. And on top of that, she had lost her brother. Well, that 10-year-old black girl lost an uncle, man. That probably hurts too. And maybe, just maybe, and call me crazy, maybe, just maybe, the last thing they needed was for the mother to be accused of doing anything to her daughter, who I'm pretty sure she loves very, very much with all her heart. You didn't see any signs of freaking abuse or neglect. You just assumed that this person was not the mother because she was white. I'm going to tell you something right now. Southwest Airlines, had that been my daughter, that would be called ACAB Airlines, baby. 1312 Airline. Listen, I would not only own the airline, I'm suing the airport. I'm suing the airport. I'm suing the police. I'm suing the courts. I'm suing, I'm suing the Southwest employee. I'm suing Southwest. I'm suing the corporate office. I'm suing all of their subsidiaries. I'm suing the janitor at the airport. I'm suing the Starbucks. Oh, you gave coffee to that particular racist employee, so therefore you fueled their racism. So you fueled their racism. So I'm gonna actually sue you too. I'm suing everybody. I would own their airlines. I don't care who you are. This is disgusting. Plenty of mixed race children, plenty of black children have white mothers. Plenty of them. There is no excuse for this. My God, listen, I would sue them for everything they're worth. I would sue them for everything they're worth. Everything. I'm suing the Cinnabon. I'm suing the McDonald's, the Burger King. If you so much as even fed those employees who called the police on me, I'm suing you too. The restroom attendant, everybody, you all going to court. I'm gonna be rich. All right, that's just absurd, man. Absurd. Let's get into this story, man. Former Minneapolis police officer Total sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison in connection to what happened to George Floyd. He showed no remorse for his role in what happened to George Floyd, the judge noted. Look at this man's face. He has no remorse. No remorse. Wow. So you just cold blooded, man. You don't care about a man's life. You cold blooded. You cold blooded. Wow. Wow. The former Minneapolis police officer who prevented bystanders from intervening during what happened to George Floyd in 2020 was sentenced Monday to 4 years and 9 months in prison. Total, convicted on May 1st in state court for aiding and abetting what happened to George Floyd, showed no remorse for his role in what happened to that man. Wow. In his defense, Tao described his actions on May 25th, 2020 as merely a human traffic cone at the sentencing hearing, adding that he never intended for Floyd to get hurt. I did not commit these crimes, Tao said, according to the Associated Press. My conscience is clear. I will not be a Judas nor join the mob in self-preservation or betray my God, end quote. Wow. So you're using God as an excuse. Wow. The nerve of some people, man. The nerve of some people. Tao was one of 4 officers involved in arresting Floyd. Former officer Derek Chauvin was seen in a viral video kneeling on Floyd for more than 9 minutes, ignoring Floyd, saying he couldn't breathe. The unarmed black man was handcuffed and face down on the sidewalk while Tao held back bystanders. But Hennepin County Judge Peter Cahill told Tao that he heard no repentance in his testimony. After 3 years of reflection, I was hoping for a little more remorse, regret, acknowledgement of some responsibility, and less preaching, said Cahill. Oh, man. So the judge used the religious argument back at him. The judge used the good book back at him. I love it. He said, less preaching. You want to preach? Well, you can go to jail then. You can become a prison preacher. How about that? Cahill's sentence is on the high end of the recommended state guidelines. So he gave him the high end of the guidelines because Total showed no remorse. Those convicted of the same crime as Tao typically receive a 4-year sentence. But Tao turned down a plea deal and agreed to let Cahill decide the case instead of a jury trial based on the testimony and evidence from Chauvin's 2021 trial. In Cahill's 177-page decision in May, the judge wrote that Tao understood the consequences of Chauvin's actions during the arrest. Tao knew that his prone restraint was extremely dangerous because it can cause asphyxia, the inability to breathe, the exact condition Floyd repeatedly told the officers he was suffering, Cahill wrote in his decision. Yet Tao made the conscious decision to aid that dangerous restraint. He actively encouraged the other 3 officers and assisted their crime by holding back cornered bystanders, declining to render medical aid to Floyd, not instructing any of the other 3 officers to render medical aid to Floyd, and not permitting any of the bystanders to render medical aid to Floyd, including the off-duty Minneapolis firefighter on the scene trained in CPR. Chauvin was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison on a state charge in April of 2021. And in February, Tao, J. Alexander Kong, and a 4th officer, Thomas Lane, were convicted in federal court of violating Floyd's civil rights. Lane was sentenced to 2.5 years, Tao was sentenced to 3.5 years, and Kong received a 3-year sentence. So we're seeing some justice here. I wish that they got life sentences, all of them did. But the fact that you got cops going to jail now, going to prison, right? It is a change. It is something different. And I think that what I do and what so many others, I'm not going to take no credit, because the fact is, in terms of being an auditor, in terms of holding cops accountable, in terms of putting out these bad cop videos, discussing, when cops abuse citizens, I am not alone. There's a lot of people out here who do exactly what I do, and sometimes even better, way better. And I give all those people credit for what what we've all collectively done. None of this is possible without what I do and what others do, or you watching this very broadcast here. This is not possible without you. It's not that the police, the politicians, and the judges said enough is enough. It's that you said enough is enough. It's not because the authorities saw the tapes. It's because you saw tapes. Because I want to remind you, right? In the original medical release, it said that George Floyd, he passed away because of excited delirium, or it was some underlying heart condition. They blamed George Floyd for what Derek Chauvin did, even though we now know Chauvin is convicted. So had the authorities had their way, right, Derek Chauvin will be free right now. Total, J. Alexander, what's the other guy's name? J. Alexander Kong and Thomas Lane, they would all be free right now. All of them. And George Floyd will be yet another black man unalived by the police with no justice. You are all responsible for helping bringing this man to justice. You are all responsible for helping to bring Derek Chauvin to justice. You are all responsible for getting Thomas Lane, J. Alexander Kong, and every other bad cop out there who was put behind bars. You watching are all responsible. Because I'll say it again, it's not because the authorities got tired of black men being unalive. It's because you got tired of it. You got tired of seeing it. And you said no more. You said we want to change. And yeah, there are still some cops getting away with dirt to this very day. But I can see, you can all see it. There is a change that's happening right now. What's happening across the country with these cops being criminally charged? Trust me, the police unions and the police, sheriff's deputies, sheriffs, police chiefs, commissioners, they are all afraid of this. And if they don't like it, then you should love it. If they don't like it, you should love it. I'll say it again for you. If they don't like it, you should love it. So guys, that's going to be the end of today's broadcast. How did you guys like today's broadcast today? Was it good? Was it informative? Was it something that you guys could sink your teeth into? Let me know in the comments. Let me know when I post this on my YouTube channel. If you want to see a copy of the full show, I post these shows on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining me. Bayo, Black, Blockwoman, For Ben Media. Let's see, Andre the Prince, Tammy. All of you for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I appreciate all of your support. This is not lost on me that you guys support me. You guys love me. You guys have stuck with me throughout the years, and I love you for that. You know, I never thought in my wildest dreams I would have fans. People that actually look forward to see me upload. People that would look forward to see me break down news and just events. So that is not lost on me. I love you all, and that's what keeps me going. I want to be informative. I want to give people the actual news. I want to go after cops, and I want to protect the people with my journalism. But none of it has any power without you, the audience. Thank you so much. Much love. Until next time, horns up, peace out. Good night, and good luck.